Welcome back to another fantastic property tour, Rankin family. Today, we are located in Spring Branch, Texas, looking at another gorgeous luxury home. And I want to give a huge thank you to the listing agent, Melinda Zeller with Coldwell Banker, and the builder, Canyon Custom Builders, for making this tour possible. I'll be sure to leave all of the information in the description below. Now, starting on the exterior, family, the first thing you may notice is that compound-like feel. So you are situated on 1.22 acres. Straight ahead is our main house. You have 3 bedrooms inside of there, and then your additional 2 bedrooms are over here in your guest house. You have a carport as well, and if that's not enough, I'll turn you around, and then you have a 2-car detached garage with an additional carport there. So the neatest part about this entire property is the incredible views, which you'll certainly see once we enter inside of the home. Now, you are surrounded by mature trees, so privacy is certainly apparent here, and you have plenty of parking available for any functions that you host, and you will not have to worry about that. And then wait till you see the inside of the property. Now, as far as the material is concerned, you do have the concrete as well as steel, so extremely durable, and I know you can appreciate that being out here in Texas. Now, you have multiple access points as well, but we'll start right here as if we're walking in for the first time. You have the modern light fixtures on the exterior, and that's going to continue in our guest house and detached garage. And then you have the massive iron front door, and you'll see that on the side door as well. But then you have that privacy element inside of the panels there, and then of course you got your nice picture windows on both sides of there. But let's go ahead and get you inside of this beautiful property. Wow, look at the view. Well, let's start inside of the home first and foremost before we talk about the outside. So once you're greeted inside of the great room, look at the tray ceilings with the recessed lights, beautiful color palette. So you have that neutral color, especially here in 2025, you definitely want that. Now I'll give you a quick glimpse of the front door from the inside. You have the floating staircase, extremely spacious, so perfect for entertaining inside of here. Then, not to mention our massive picture windows, and you see right above there as well. So this home takes advantage of the unobstructed view. So it's flooded with natural light inside of here. And then I really can appreciate the way they designed this. But don't worry, we will not miss a thing. We'll make our way around the perimeter of the house and then take it from there. Okay, so once we continue right here, of course, a lot of your guests may be hanging out over here, but if that's not enough for you, wait till we see the kitchen. But as always, let's go ahead and start from the perimeter. So you got your powder bath right over here, nice modern vanity quartz countertops. You got the LED mirror right over there as well. And then that is straight ahead from our side door. So if the guests want to come in through there, that's no issue whatsoever. It's still going to lead you to the great room. And then this is our utility room. So you have a stackable washer and dryer in here. And don't worry, once you see the primary suite, you'll see we have the washer and dryer hookup up there as well. So inside of here, you got the shaker style cabinets with the champagne bronze hardware, and then the quartz countertops right over here. So a nice little folding station. And then you got a vanity right here, and you can take advantage out there and look at the view. And then your built-in shelving over here. You also have the rocker switches, and you will notice that little privacy element on some of the doors, even inside. So now coming over here, you see we have our alcove on both sides. So if you wanted to create your own little drop zone or a mud room, you certainly can do that. And again, the massive door on this side as well. So I can appreciate that they did that. But the neatest part is you see our corner window. So even as we continue right over here, it's just flooded with all that natural light. We talk about that quite often, and I know you can appreciate that just as much as I can. Okay, heading inside of our kitchen, look at that. Plenty of recessed lights. Then you have that floating ceiling design right over there. Massive waterfall island, quartz countertops, as you can see. And then it really pairs well with that champagne bronze, even brass, right? I love the way it complements one another. Now, plenty of space. You even have these double tap outlets right here. Look at this. Okay, there we go. As you can see, and that's on both sides over there. You got your built-in sink, and then look at that, your panel-ready refrigerator. So inside of here, you will notice the stainless steel range hood. You got stacked cabinets. Then you got the glass panes inside of our cabinet doors. So it really stands out, and even the accent lighting inside of there. So let's go ahead and open up some of these cabinets for you, give you a better idea of the storage that you get, even right above here as well. And look how beautiful that looks. Look at that. And so appliances, you have Z-line. So top of the line again. And then even in here, you got that champagne bronze handle on both the freezer and the refrigerator. Beautiful. So then as we pan around over here, look at that. You got your brass pop filler, Z-line range right over here. And even that, I love the way it complements the cabinetry. You got a 6-burner range with the griddle, additional quartz countertops. The shaker cabinetry continues this way. And then imagine doing dishes. Look at that. This is what your view would be. Okay, so if that wasn't enough, now heading inside of our dining area. So open to the kitchen, as you can see. Some folks might call it like a breakfast nook or something like that, right? But the coolest part, you have additional counter space on both sides. You got an additional wet bar right over here. And then you got a wine cooler. As you can see, built-in sink. You got some additional storage right above there. And then you can see that sloping design as well. And then if you are entertaining, you have a ton of family inside of the house and outside, you go ahead and take this remote right here, and then you can go ahead and open this up right here. And you'll see that in just a second. It's motorized, so you can take advantage of that as well. But before we continue, I'll give you a quick glimpse of the outside. Look at the incredible views. Wow, the way they made, or at least built this property to take advantage of this. Bravo, great job. And then the infinity pool. Can you imagine this being your view every single day? Now, we'll see that open a little bit later on. Let's continue our tour and make our way around here. Now, before we continue, you did have the upper cabinetry right above there, and then this is additional storage right over here. So I didn't want you to think that maybe this was the pantry or something like that, but plenty of cabinetry to work with, so you will not have to worry about storing any of your dry goods. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue right over here. Now, this is where your 2 bedrooms are gonna be, right? So they're gonna be right next to each other. And then you have a quick access door right over here. But our first bedroom here, massive windows. You got access to your deck out there, as you can see. And then you're gonna have these separate closet and bathroom combinations. So in here, a king bedroom set would fit perfectly. In fact, when I did my first walkthrough, I was like, this could almost be a primary bedroom, until I actually seen the primary bedroom. And I was like, oh, wow. Great job. Okay, so you got your floating vanity, LED mirror, as you can tell in there. And then you have your 0 threshold walk-in shower. But not only that, you got the sliding glass door, and then your rain shower head right above there. And then you have additional recessed lights. Beautiful tile shower surround as well. And then again, that privacy door continues that theme that we've seen inside of here. So extremely spacious. I can appreciate all along the property. You will notice the outlets inside of the baseboards. So we've seen that on other properties previously, and that's to really just have, that minimal look. Okay, this is our second bedroom. Look at this. You have the massive tray ceilings, wooden LED ceiling fan, recessed lights again inside of here. You got your sliding glass door, as you can see. And then your separate closet over here. So this one's gonna be dual entry, but you already have your built-in rods and built-in shelving ready to go. And why not? Let's go ahead and just walk through this way to head to our ensuite. So the same materials as far as the floating vanity is concerned. But you do have the LED mirrors again inside of here. And then right over here, the sliding glass door leading into your walk-in shower. Okay, so let me know in the comments your initial thoughts of the property. Do you love these views? Man, I can certainly appreciate that, especially once you start going to the Austin area or the greater San Antonio area. You start to see those beautiful hills that folks really want. But now let's get up our staircase. So you have the study up here and your primary suite. And I'll show you the primary suite in just a second, but I'll turn you around here so you can overlook the great room. So you see you got the soaring ceilings inside of here. And then even look at that. You got this beautiful, well thought out study. Look how massive this is. So you got a built-in bench, as you can see. You could really even use this as another bedroom if you really wanted to, unless you work from home or you use studies quite often, because who wouldn't want to take advantage of those incredible views? Love that. So you got your massive picture windows inside of here. Now, this is going to be the HVAC on both sides right over there as well, but I like the door they added. And then not to mention on this side, you got massive picture windows again. And you notice the iron doors all throughout. And then also, before I continue, just so I don't forget, you have the magnetic door stoppers. So again, we talk about that attention to detail. What a great job they've done. And you know what's funny is I've only seen that on a handful of properties out of 350, but I always love to point that out when they add that feature. Now look at this, family. Oh my goodness. So you see our king size bed right over here. You have a wet bar straight ahead, that sloping design to take advantage of those massive windows. You have a balcony outside of here. So you see the 180-degree view. So this is what I certainly am talking about when I talk about a primary retreat. And let me know your thoughts on here. Now you see you got an exposed beam right over there. So it's in line essentially with those windows right over there, but you got these beautiful sconces. You can imagine this at nighttime. Wow. Plenty of space to work with. And then right behind this wall right over here, of course, is going to be your primary bath. Look at this. And I really love this feature right over here. So you see our light gray cabinetry, shaker style floating shelving right above there. And then you will notice the recessed lights on the exterior of the home as well. Look at this. You talk about privacy. Look at the view. Goodness. Now this is what I'm talking about when you're drinking that morning coffee. You definitely want to be out here. Okay. So we've just seen our primary bedroom. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our primary bathroom. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Okay. So look at this massive designated cosmetic area. Quartz countertops. You got your sconces, an oversized mirror right there with the LED feature in there, so you don't have to worry about any lighting whatsoever. You got your built-in cabinetry, and then over here, look at the custom cabinets again. But the coolest part, so not only look at the standalone vanity right here, really unique feature with the his and hers sinks. Really great job. Oh my goodness. Then you got the double-sided mirror, as you can see, quartz, and then like I mentioned earlier when we got to the utility room, you have an additional stackable washer and dryer right here. Then you head over here, you got your freestanding tub, massive walk-in shower. You see the privacy glass inside of our cabinet doors as well. So that'll be your side, and then your partner's side right over here, or vice versa, right? And of course, you do have the accent lighting inside of there. Dual entry as far as our walk-in shower. You got your ledge over there, and then you can even see over here. So you got your dual rain shower heads, dual shower heads, your standard shower heads, and then you got the dual shower wands over here, and all of it is chrome in here. Extremely spacious, a lot to work with. And then again, the sliding glass privacy door right here where our water closet is. But you can imagine taking a nice long bath, putting some Epsom salt inside of there, and then you have an additional water closet over there. And I'm starting to really appreciate that feature a lot as we go into a lot of these luxury homes. You know, having 2 water closets is certainly practical and starting to be a necessity. Okay. So family, that was only the main house, and you get all of this. And you know how they say, you know, everything's bigger in Texas, but what I like to say is you get a lot of value in Texas, and I know you can concur with that. Okay, so one more pan of the main house. And before we continue, I'll just show you from over here. You see that motorized door went upwards. So if you have guests over, they hang out at that bar and you can serve them drinks. Of course, take their keys away and you are good to go. All right, so as promised, we've seen the main house. Let's go ahead and take a look at the guest house. So I did mention previously too, that is almost, you know, we talk about quite often the multi-generational living, right? But most of the time, these suites are inside of the main house, right? It might be 5 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, and then it connects to the garage or something like that. But this is completely functional in itself. So if you did have your in-laws over for an extended duration of time, or any guests for that matter, right? They have their own functional house on this side. Just make sure you collect some payments, I'd say. But now heading inside of here, you see the recessed lights on the exterior, concrete and steel as well. You got your carport here, but let's go ahead and head inside this door as if we're walking in for the first time. Okay, so now heading inside of here. So the cool thing is you have your porch right over here. And it's actually massive. It actually extends outwards, you see, so you can take advantage of the sunlight. And then of course you got your covered area straight ahead over here. You have a decent view, as you can see. But the cool thing is this whole house is surrounded by those mature trees, especially towards the back. Now you have a full kitchen in here. Look at that. They even have a bar area. You got quartz countertops. You got an additional bar straight ahead right here. And look at this. Your stackable washer and dryer. So they don't need to go do laundry in the main house. They are completely functional on their own. Now you got these beautiful pendant lights right above your island. As you can see, and this it has that U shape. So it's a U-shaped kitchen. But now as we head inside of here, you got those massive picture windows, floating shelving. You even have a pot filler in here. Some houses don't even have a pot filler in the main kitchen, right? But as you can see, you got your massive range. You've got a dishwasher over here, built-in sink, and a ton of cabinetry. And then right above here, you see the stainless steel vent hood with the glass surrounding the exterior. So if for some reason you come home and you don't feel like cooking, you head over here. I'm pretty sure they will prepare a meal for you. All right, so now heading into the nice living room. You see you got dual entry to the backyard. You got your first bedroom on that side, and right behind me is the additional bedroom. Before we do continue, let's make sure you see inside every single nook and cranny. So look at that. Nice little pantry right over here. And let's go ahead and continue. Now, first bedroom, look at that. So inside of here, you see that recessed area, and they're doing some final touches you may notice as well. In fact, the builder was just here before I started, and I had a nice chat with him. So you got recessed lights, but you got clear story windows in here. So additional sunlight hitting inside of here, a massive picture window right over here. And then of course, your ensuite. You got the sliding privacy door right here, iron material. Now you do have your closet with your built-in rods and shelving. And then look at the custom vanity right here. So you got quartz countertops, you got sage green, and then you got brass hardware with the LED mirror. Toilet right over here to the left. And a generously sized walk-in shower. And they even get the waterfall shower head there. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue our tour, and please let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We're always watching that, always looking at the comments, and we appreciate your feedback. Now heading in here, you are going to have the access to the backyard, or the backyard patio. So you have the dual entry from your living room, and then an additional entry point right over here. Plenty of space for a queen bedroom set, and in fact, a full queen bedroom set. So heading into our ensuite, you see you got dual sinks inside of here. Got that sage green and brass combination. You got your water closet, and then your closet over there, or your toilet rather. But look at this. You have a full wet room in here. So the freestanding tub, shower combination with your chrome waterfall shower head, recessed lights, massive shower niche right over here. The tile shower surround, as you can see. And a spacious walk-in closet. So a lot of breathing room in here, as you can see, with your built-in shelving, rod, and your window. Okay. And last but certainly not least is our backyard patio. Look at that. So surrounded by all the trees, all the privacy that you can imagine. So they might stay a little longer than anticipated. So keep that in mind. And before we do continue, I want to make sure that you see the full backyard. So let's go ahead and head back through here. And hopefully the entire property in itself makes sense for you. And it's something that you can see yourself living in, because quite frankly, I haven't seen anything like this. So that's the neatest part about seeing some of these custom built properties, is you can see folks' vision come to life, right? And instead of you having to wait, 2 years, 2.5 years to build a property like this can be yours in the next 30 days, right? Surrounded by wildlife, and goodness gracious. Okay, so wind out, since we're already over here, we'll go ahead and head down our driveway over here. So you see that you have paved and graveled as well. Over here is locked, but trust me, it is the 2-car garage. And then you even have the little glass element right over here as well. You have a separate entry point. but let's go ahead and walk over here so you'll get a better look at the entire view of itself, of the hill country views. So look at this, how it is elevated. I'm telling you, the way it took advantage of it, fantastic job. Okay, continuing this way. Look at this, family. So as I mentioned, we already seen this part of it, right? But you have the private patio area over there. And then if you wanted additional sunlight, of course, you see you have your T-shaped built-in pool with the infinity edge. Look at that. And then I mentioned earlier, the long winding driveway. You're at the end of a cul-de-sac right over here, so you still have additional privacy. And then even look over here. So if you are entertaining, you have a ton of family over here. You see you have some stools right over here. You can serve them drinks like I mentioned earlier. And then if folks just want to get in the pool but really don't want to swim, for that matter, they kind of come over here and hang out in the spa area. And then over here, just kind of sit back, relax, and enjoy each other's company. And then of course, straight ahead over here. And then if all that wasn't enough for you, you got your outdoor shower. Love that. And I talk about that quite often, not having to worry about, you know, bringing in or tracking in all that water inside the house to get to the shower. You go ahead and do that, dry off, and you are good to go. But other than that, family, that was another beautiful luxury home tour. All right, Rankin family, that was it for this beautiful luxury home right here in Spring Branch, Texas. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this particular property. Is this something you could see yourself living in? Would you make any changes? If so, let me know in the comments below. Of course, if you want more information about this home or any home we showcase, reach out to the information in the description. Consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss a tour every single week. And I'll see you folks on the next property tour.